Do-rag wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Earth Day Y2K 20.02.24. We have 252 days until our election. I just wish that people would teach us about democratic socialism. You see this poster over here? I'm obsessed with this poster. It bothers me a lot. That one up there. Before the end of the month, I'm going to explain to you why. No big deal, but I think I owe it to you folks. I wish that Bernie Sanders, when he was standing next to that creep Bloomberg, when Bloomberg made fun of him about his owning property, and we'll talk about that, and having money, Bernie didn't seem to have an answer, or he was ignoring it. I wish, especially in this country, that anybody running as a socialist, democratic socialist, whatever, should teach us ignoramuses about what socialism is. I don't need anybody to teach me about what socialism is. I have an idea. I could use some augmenting. Everybody can. But before I get into that, I have another thing to say. Fake Senate impeachment trial, no vindication, no adjudication, no exoneration. Keep repeating that. Let's get one thing straight, folks. Most of us hate the boss. So why in God's name do we want a boss, a business person, to be president of our country? Business is dedicated to one thing: making money. Not to freedom, not to democracy. I do not consider myself an expert on socialism, but I will do the best that I can, and please feel free to correct me if you feel it's necessary. I consider myself a democratic socialist, but on YouTube I call myself a socio-capitalist. And I believe they're the same thing. We've given fascism a try in this country. Look at it. Why not try some socialism, since we already have it in place through our social safety net, and through our taxes, and through our support for a rich person's government welfare. It was extremely frustrating for me when Mike Bloombucks turned to Bernie Sanders on the debate stage and accused him of being a millionaire and owning private property, which Bernie Sanders is, and he does. And Bernie did not even know how to answer him when he should have. And when I say he didn't know how to answer him, maybe he was ignoring him, but I think that in this country especially, anytime socialism is attacked and you're a socialist, you should defend it. And then at some point, Bloom Turd referred to socialism as communism. Another ignorant statement. Again, most people are ignorant about democratic socialism, and most of the pundits don't know how to talk about it. All these months, I wish more and more of the pundits would talk about socialism. The only pundit that I know who knows about socialism is Lawrence O'Donnell, who I recall in the past referred to himself as a democratic socialist. Many citizens of the USA should not be ignorant of socialism. Anytime you bring the federal government in to aid in social programs, or to give welfare to the rich, which we've done, that is socialism. I know, socialism, that word has been one of the most abused words and used by the totalitarians in Russia, the Soviet Russia, and by the Nazis. They used the word socialism in part of their title. How dare they? Probably were afraid of it. The idea in socialism that the people, not powerful bosses, are in charge. The Bailey Building and Loan from the classic Christmas movie It's a Wonderful Life. Remember the Bailey Building and Loan? The company that had customers, depositors, who would pay money each month if he collected it, so they and others could buy and own a home. The Bailey Building and Loan. Home loan. The Bailey Building and Loan, ladies and gentlemen and friends, was socialism. And by the way, two of the scenarios who penned the screenplay, who I'm not really fond of, honestly, that's another story, were socialists themselves. Albert Hackett and Francis Goodrich. When you look at the credits for It's a Wonderful Life, you'll see their name as one of the three in there, or four. I wish that I had been standing on the debate stage instead of Bernie Sanders when Bloomsuck made his ignorant remark about Bernie's wealth and about socialism in general, trying to make him seem as if Bernie's a hypocrite or something. Here's what I would say. Mike, I am not a member of the Orthodox Socialist sect. I am a member of the Reformed Socialist sect, aka Democratic Socialism, aka Socio-Capitalism. Mikey, a Democratic Socialist, Socio-Capitalist, takes the best of both capitalism and socialism and combines them so that they have a check on each other. And they do, they work together, it's funny. A democratic socialist, socio-capitalist is allowed, Mikey, to own private property, own a business or more, and make money. We're allowed to have commodities, Mikey. George Orwell, author of 1984, and Eugene Debs, U.S. presidential candidate, were both democratic socialists, socio-capitalists. In Orthodox socialism, Mikey, there is not supposed to be private property. That's orthodox. And all means of production is run by the government. Okay? Reform socialism allows you to own all the private property, businesses, and all the money you want. And that's like, again, commodities. However, and this is the big difference, democratic socialism, socio-capitalism demands that if you own businesses, they must all be unionized. If you own businesses, they must be subject to government regulations that protect workers, consumers, and the planet, the environment. A democratic socialist, socio-capitalist believes in sharing the wealth and in government social programs. Yes, democratic socialists, socio-capitalists believe in bigger government so that the vulnerable among us can be protected. A democratic socialist, socio-capitalist believes that health care is a human right and will push for the public option. A democratic socialist, socio-capitalist believes in workers' rights, labor unions. A democratic socialist, socio-capitalist, I repeat, believes that health care is a human right and will push for the public option. So, Mike, that is the difference between my democratic socialism, socio-capitalism, and your selfish, destructive capitalism. Without checks, all greed, all money. My social system takes people into consideration. Not data, not money, not yours, and not Nazi Trump's vicious, greedy, rich, oligarch egos.